What's going on, everybody? My name is Mr. Leong, and welcome back to another episode of the Startup Starter Kit. Today, we're here to continue from the previous episode, and we're learning about retail designs and layouts. You can have a great space, but you have to dress it up, make it look nice, and create a warm, inviting environment that customers feel happy shopping in. So we're going to learn about different types of layouts you can have in your store that are going to maximize customer revenues, get them browsing around some of the items in your store, and this is going to keep them longer in the store so that they're more likely to buy things. So let's learn about the different types of retail layouts you can have in your store. So let's get started. Now, if you haven't done so already, feel free to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell notification so you're notified every time I upload a new video to YouTube. I would also greatly appreciate it if you show a like and comment if you enjoyed the video, or maybe you just want to say hi. I'm okay with that too. So today we're learning about retail design and layouts. Now, creating an environment and an atmosphere that entices customers also involves how you design customer flow and traffic with your retail layouts. Have you ever been to IKEA? Now, maybe you're just there to pick up a desk for your office, and then it turns out that you walk around the whole store because the way that the store is designed, it's almost like a racetrack or a loop. Maybe you're only there to look at office, but you end up walking through like the washroom section or maybe the living room section. And it's designed this way so that customers are exposed to as much products as possible. That's the whole reason that IKEA does this. They want you to walk around the whole thing, and even though you're only there just to pick up one or two things, you're exposed to other merchandise that you could have maybe purchased. So retail design and layouts help play a role in helping to keep customers in the store and getting them to buy things that they wouldn't have normally would have, just because maybe they're just there to pick up one or two things. So stores like IKEA carefully plan the store's walkways, and they look at how customers navigate the stores so that they're exposed to as much merchandise as possible. So imagine you are a customer and you walk into the store. What are some of the first things that you notice? Maybe you notice the lighting. First thing I see is the brand name. And a lot of stores like to do this, have the brand name, the brand logos, and it reinforces the image in the eyes of the customer so that when the customer is thinking about different alternatives and maybe other competitors, they see your brand image and it helps to position your brand in the eyes of the consumer. Everything is very well and neatly laid out, and it's very easy for a customer to walk in. There's plenty of space. It feels like a very interesting environment, and you see everything is very neatly folded, different colors, different jackets, and there's a nice amount of different inventory where I can look at dress shirts and jackets and take a look at what I'm interested in. So this is an example of delivering a good impression, and I tend to like this because the brand name is over here. You have the cash register here so that you have to go to the back if you want to buy something, and you can look at some of the other inventory that they have. So with that in mind, let's look at the different retail layouts that you can have in your store. All right, let's learn about the first type of layout, which is a grid layout. You may have seen grids before in grocery stores, gas stations, and they're good for categorizing different products. It's very popular for different retailers because it's very easy to set up and organize. You can have personal items over here, maybe towels, clothes. So it's easy to set up and organize. So if a customer is going to look for a particular item, it's very easy for the customer to go, oh, I'm looking for towels, and I'll just go to this aisle. So it's easy to set up and it's familiar. Customers have experience going into grids and they have experience going to grocery stores. So that familiarity can be an asset. So it's familiar, very easy to organize, and it's easy to set up for employees. Now, it may be challenging for customers because you don't get to go into all of the aisles. Notice that if they're just walking through these arrows over here, they don't actually see what's in the middle of these aisles. So that's why retailers may put end caps or different displays on the edges, which will entice customers to go into the aisles. Because the overall goal is to get customers looking at your inventory. Grids may be difficult in getting your customers to look at all of your inventory. Sometimes retailers may put things at a diagonal so that you're exposed to these inventory as they're walking down this path. So there are some pros and cons to grids, but one of the main pros is that it's easy to set up, but it's also challenging in that it's also kind of a boring layout too. It's boring, but it works. And if it works for your business, then you should stick to that formula. Let's take a look at layout number 2. As you saw in the IKEA model, they have a pathway for customers to walk around, and you see couches, office furniture, even though you're only there maybe to pick up 1 or 2 items. So the racetrack format is effective because it allows people to see multiple merchandise. So you have a loop and you get customers to walk around, and this way, if you look at the different colors, they see all of the different types of items that you have to offer. So it encourages customer browsing, and it's great for exposure of your products. Now, the challenges with a racetrack or a loop is that it's not very good for turnover. If you have a small space and you want customers to go grab something and then take off, the racetracks aren't really designed for that purpose. Some customers get annoyed because maybe they only want one thing from the orange section, and then they have to go through the whole store experience even though they only wanted one item. So it's good for encouraging browsing and exposure, but not necessarily the best for turnover. And sometimes your customers get annoyed. Like if I wanted to go to IKEA and grab one thing, I'd have to skip through all of the sections because I'm just not interested in buying some of those things. So let's learn about layout number 3. The third type of layout is called a free form or flow. It's quite simple. A lot of different stores have different displays, but they're not all in a grid shape with aisles. So you have different displays, tables, shapes, and this allows customers to freely walk around and peruse. It's a much more organic type of browsing compared to layout number 2, which was based on a racetrack and loop. So in this type of layout, there's more space, they're not rushed, and they can go wander around and look at different displays. It's a much more free type of layout, but the main disadvantage is that customers may find this to be very confusing and they get lost if there's not proper signage. So if they're looking for a t-shirt, but their t-shirts are not organized in one section, or maybe it's hard to find because you have a table here, an oval section over here, and different aisles, this may be very difficult for customers to find different things. So this is a very type of creative design, and it's a much more organic type of browsing, and it's very easy for customers to walk around and look at different things that might interest them. So let's go to layout number 4. Layout number 4 is called the herringbone layout. If you have a long, narrow space and you don't have a lot of room, herringbone works very well because it's similar to a grid, and you can utilize your limited space by adding a focal point at the back of the store. So it's encouraged for customers to look at the different aisles, and then you go to the end where you have a focal point, maybe you have some signage and your logo in the back. And this way, it's encouraged to maximize space, and the customers browse the aisles and then go to the end to pay. So maybe you'll see this in a mall type of environment where you don't have a lot of space and you have the cash register at the back, and then the customers walk around, see the different aisles and different products, and then you go to the back to pay. It doesn't work as well sometimes because there's limited visibility in the aisles, and it's very easy to shoplift. You have your employees over here and the products, some of them are in the front. It's very easy for someone to walk in, take the items, and leave. It may also appear very cramped, but you have to work with the space you have, which is why it's important that you look at your retail space and you want to organize the displays and the items so that you don't have any empty space and that you can maximize the space by making it very attractive, and you can put different displays as well. So Herringbone works well as a grid type where you have a narrow, long space and you have your cash register at the back, and customers peruse, go to the end, and then walk out. All right, here are some of my final thoughts. You can also use greeters and sales associates to help provide a great experience for your customers. They can provide coupons upon entering, like 10% off for any purchase, or maybe you have the sales associates direct some of the customers to where the inventory and the products are. So this is going to inform your customers and help provide them with some knowledge so that they can better browse around your store. Also, make sure that you optimize your space so that no space is left empty. You can also put different displays or signs just to fill up the space a little bit. So your floor plan and design play a big role in increasing sales and managing the flow of your customers around the store. So you can mix and match, see what works. Maybe you have partly a little bit of a grid layout, but you also mix some of the racetrack and the loop layouts. So play around with it, see what works, and respond to how your customers interact in the store. And your customers also want to enjoy their experience and the time in the store. As most of the retail and a lot of stores are moving online as well, when customers come into the store, make sure you provide an experience that can't be matched by the online environments in the online retail. So make sure that you have a friendly environment, that you consider the five senses, and think about the store through the lens of your customers. What are they seeing? What are some of the displays that they've noticed? And you want them to have a great time shopping in your store, and you want to provide a great store experience. So thank you for watching today's episode. Don't forget to like, comment in the comment section below, and I'll see you in the next episode where I'm talking about promotion and promotion with the ADA model. So thank you for tuning in. I'll see you later. Okay, bye-bye.